this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
Support for the show comes from Public, the investing platform for those who take it seriously. On Public, you can build a multi-asset portfolio of stocks, bonds, options, crypto, and now generated assets, which allow you to turn any idea into an investable index with AI. It all starts with your prompt. From renewable energy companies with high free cash flow to semiconductor suppliers growing revenue over 20% year over year, you can literally type any prompt and put the AI to work. It screens thousands of stocks, builds a one-of-a-kind index, and lets you backtest it against the S&P 500. Then you can invest in a few clicks. Generated assets are like ETFs with infinite possibilities, completely customizable and based on your thesis, not someone else's. Go to public.com/podcast and earn an uncapped 1% bonus when you transfer your portfolio. That's public.com/podcast. Paid for by Public Investing. Brokerage services by Open to the Public Investing Inc. Member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services by Public Advisors LLC, SEC registered advisor. Generated assets is an interactive analysis tool. Output is for informational purposes only and is not an investment recommendation or advice. Complete disclosures available at public.com/disclosures.
Life gets messy. Spills, stains, pet accidents, and kid chaos. But with Anabay, cleaning up is easy. Our sofas are fully machine washable, inside and out, so you never have to stress about messes again. Made with liquid and stain-resistant fabrics, that means fewer stains and more peace of mind. Designed for real life, our sofas feature changeable fabric covers, allowing you to refresh your style anytime. Need flexibility? Our modular design lets you rearrange your sofa effortlessly. Perfect for cozy apartments or spacious homes. Plus, they're earth-friendly and built to last. That's why over 200,000 happy customers have made the switch. Upgrade your space today. Sofas start at just $699. Visit washablesofas.com now and bring home a sofa made for life. That's washablesofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents. So when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it comes to making an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the one you'll call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Flag football is exploding, and iFlag is leading the way. As the Guinness World Record holder, iFlag hosts premier flag football tournaments nationwide for boys, girls, high school girls, and adults. From first-time players to elite competitors, iFlag delivers top-level competition, unforgettable experiences, and a community built around the game. Ready to be part of it? Join the movement. Find your tournament and learn more at iflag.org. That's iflag.org.
Hello, Internet. I'm Robert Evans, and this is once again Behind the Bastards, the show where we tell you everything you don't know about the very worst people in all of history. And today we have a very special episode for all of you. It's another episode on Alex Jones, the epilogue of Alex Jones, you could call it. And my guests today are the guys from Knowledge Fight. Dan and Jordan, how are y'all doing today?
Hey.
We're doing great.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
I'm Jordan.
In case our listeners don't know, Dan knows a lot about Alex Jones. Jordan
That's correct.
does not know much about Alex Jones, but in reality, you both know an enormous amount about Alex Jones because you've recorded hundreds of podcast episodes about him.
Yeah.
To my everlasting regret, I started doing this podcast because I wanted to hang out with my friend, and now I know too much about this man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a negative influence.
Y'all's podcast, Knowledge Fight. Listeners, you can go to knowledgefight.com if you want to hear more about Alex Jones. They break down his episodes. You guys are both doing the modern stuff, and you go like back to 2008-9 episodes. Y'all's podcast has become one of my favorite. I kind of learned about it as I was finishing up the first Alex Jones podcast, but I listen to you guys 2 or 3 times a week. I'm just trying to get caught up. I love your stuff. So thank you.
I'm really
for
glad you enjoy it.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Well,
we absolutely appreciate your work as well.
Let's get into this. Let's talk a little bit about Alex Jones.
Sure.
I'd like to open this video, I'd like to open this episode with a special video I found of Alex Jones on Inauguration Day, outrageously drunk and ranting about some sort of bizarre future space program. Have you guys seen this one?
I have horrific memories of inauguration night, election night. That whole season was a pretty bad time for watching Alex Jones.
I forget when I came across this one, but it's pretty remarkable. I like it because it showcases Alex Jones as drunk as I think he's ever been, but that may be optimistic on my part.
I would say so. He's reached some dazzling heights of intoxication.
There are 4 ways to learn, one of which is race memory, I believe.
That's a great drunk quote of his.
Very, very drunk before. Yeah. None of those 4 ways to learn, by the way, that he references were reading, research, any kind of physical. Look, libraries are where he goes to shit. Basically, he's not there for the books.
They have free coffee.
All right, I'm going to play this video just to warm up the waters for our listeners here. Here's drunk Alex Jones.
This will be created. It'll launch the space program that sends humanity into space. It'll launch the program. That's the big difference. The new Atlantis will be created. It'll launch the space program that sends humanity into space. It'll launch the program that puts humanity on the map forever in the galaxy. It'll launch the program when our ancestors 1,000 years from now are on hundreds and hundreds of star systems and galaxies. They'll look back and say, these are the people that had the vision that they did it all. It won't be Japan. It won't be China. It won't be Russia. It won't be Latin America. It'll be America.
Is it Latin America still America?
No.
Wrong
it's
America.
in the name.
The wrong America. I do love it. It seems like in Alex Jones's conception of the world, Canada just kind of gets a free ride onto the space train. Like,
sure,
just lumping them in.
Yeah. They're white. That's Alex's worldview.
Seems like a joke, but that is where his head is at.
Yeah.
So that is kind of what my favorite part of that, if I remember that night correctly, that was he's stumbling around DC, and a little bit after that in the video, he ends up running into a bunch of fans. And he almost catatonically shakes hands with people. Like, people keep coming up to him, like, Alex Jones is like, hey, how's it going? But he's almost unconscious when he's talking to these people. It's a very weird dynamic he seems to have with people. But
I don't think anybody hates Alex Jones listeners more than Alex Jones. He despises his fans so much.
That actually gets us on to sort of what we'll be talking about for a big chunk of this episode, which is the contempt that he seems to have for the people who have given him everything that he has.
Dear God.
It's really quite remarkable. I mean, when we last talked about Alex Jones on my show, he'd just been kicked off of Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, pretty much everything. Our episode 3-parter ended with him in a donkey mask shouting about the 1.3 billion Islamist trained in Satanism waiting at the border of the country.
Yeah.
That was a banner night for him. I remember that.
They were there, and then suddenly they weren't very quickly. It was a surprise.
Yeah, they really that was an impressive movement of 1.3 billion people.
Mm-hmm. He has trouble with numbers is one of the themes you're going to find if you ever look too deeply into Alex. Doesn't understand math, language, or numbers. Those are fundamental problems.
Great at shouting, though. Really.
Absolutely.
If there's one thing I can look up to the man for, as a shouter myself, he can really shout the shit out of things.
Yeah. One of the best. And that day, the day that I finished writing the script, I think, InfoWars made an announcement that they were launching InfoWars Yes, which is Alex framed as an incredible opportunity for his listeners and his viewers.
He's selling you economic freedom.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
You don't want to be a small business owner?
I don't know why. I don't know.
American dream.
Why you're scoffing at this? It's a proven system.
Well, yeah, InfoWars, yes, since our listeners probably don't pay much attention to Alex Jones, is essentially he's getting rid of InfoWars Life, it seems, his supplement line, and replacing it with another line of supplements sold by a company named Jeunesse. Not the Jeunesse that Keith Raniere, the guy who started that Nexium cult that branded women, did, but a different spelling of essentially the same pronunciation. But
easy mistake to make.
With the same result at the end of the day.
Yeah, they're both MLMs. They're both multi-level marketing companies.
Multi-level marketing company. He's going to get branded at the end of it. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Well, I looked into Jeunesse a little bit because, Alex claimed that, number one, their supplements were better than the supplements he'd been selling, which is pretty interesting for Alex to do.
It's a strange business plan for him to come out and insult his own line in favor of this new line that he's bringing in, if he expects to ever sell his old line ever again. That struck me as very strange.
And I guess we'll get to that in a little bit, but it does seem like this is almost the end game of InfoWars. Maybe that's wishful thinking on my part, but it looks like he's trying to basically cash in on the audience that he has as fast as he can, because Jeunesse is not a nice company. I did a little bit of digging into them. You did some on your show, too, and it definitely shows that the majority of people, like with every MLM, don't make any money or lose money on the business. I did go to their website because I wanted to know how Jeunesse presents themselves. Their mission statement is, the Jeunesse family creates positive impact in the world by helping people look and feel young while empowering each other to unleash our potential, which is about as vague as you're going to find on anything. Doesn't.
I am sold, sir.
You want to unleash your potential to feel
Hell
young?
Yeah. I've always wondered why I haven't been unleashing my potential, and it turns out Jeunesse has a way to go about it. Yeah. I assume I'm going to get branded in a sex cult here shortly, right?
That, and you're going to get a microbiotic skin mask.
That's a double whammy of fun.
It's all that's been holding you back. Turns out.
Well, and when you're branding yourself, you really want the patented Jeunesse stem cell skin rejuvenation tonic, yeah, which is actually a thing that they sell.
Yeah. In this case, actually, branding yourself kind of works both ways as a double meaning.
Yeah, it does.
You gotta. All right.
Yeah. We will talk about the branding a little bit because Jones made some really interesting choices in how to brand InfoWars, yes, but I want to stay on Jeunesse for just a little bit longer. Sure. So I looked into the company's bio, and it says that it began in the hearts and minds of visionaries Randy Ray and Wendy Lewis. Having achieved tremendous success in other enterprises, basically, they created Jeunesse in 2009, on September 9th, 2009 at 9 p.m., because the number 9 represents longevity. For reasons that are unclear to me.
We're getting into supreme mathematics here.
It does seem like...
Talk to the Wu-Tang Clan about this.
I'm not a numerologer, but it does seem that any number higher than 9 would better represent longevity than the number 9. I don't know.
It's the largest single-digit number. That makes perfect sense.
Oh,
okay. Let's move on.
Solid.
Write it down on the board. Let's keep on going.
So, Mr. Ray and Miss Lewis, because, they claim to have achieved tremendous success in other enterprises. So I looked into what those other enterprises were, and they got their start with Fuel Freedom International, which was an MLM that sold pills you put in your car's gas tank to give it better mileage.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Say that one more time.
They started
what?
Fuel Freedom International, an MLM that sells pills that you put in your car to give it better gas mileage.
Look, you take aspirin, your car needs aspirin. Everybody knows it makes perfect sense.
What are you going to do if you're not drugging your car?
Exactly.
You're just leaving money on the table with a sober car.
Exactly. No one's drug testing your car.
Your Honor, my car was drunk. Come on.
It was drunk so it would drive further. So the claim that Fuel Freedom made was that their car pill technology was invented by NASA in the 1970s, although there's zero evidence for this claim. There's also zero evidence that the magical car pills ever worked, and people did try to study that. So, again, seems like they were just selling nonsense magic for your gas tank. Now, in 2009, Mr. Ray and Miss Lewis got together with a Beverly Hills doctor to make an anti-aging face cream made out of stem cells, and have since then cashed in very successfully on people's fears of getting old. So that
was the weirdest sequel to Beverly Hills Cop. The Beverly Hills Doctor.
Beverly Hills
weird
Stem
franchise.
Cell Doctor.
You give Jones Reinhold his own franchise, and you're going to run into trouble.
It says a lot about you that you picked Beverly Hills Cop as the Beverly Hills movie to call this a sequel to, and not Beverly Hills Ninja, the Chris Farley classic.
Do you mean the greatest movie ever made?
Yes,
come on now.
I was going to go with Troop Beverly Hills. Shows where my mind is at.
So, Jeunesse's business did grow wildly over the mid-aughts and made hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, I think in 2013 or 14, they were showing like a 500% growth rate year over year. But it seems to have tapered off recently, in part due to the fact that they are super shady. So I did some reading within the MLM community just to try to see how this company was looked at by people who are into multi-level marketing. And I found a site called Behind MLM. And they, one of the things they note is that Jeunesse has a history of, quote, cutting secret backroom deals with high-profile affiliates. which means that they basically go after people with big audiences and pay them thousands of dollars in order to get access to their audience, which seems to be exactly what's going on with Alex Jones right now.
It's the Scientology business model, I believe.
Yeah, find someone famous and then their fans will pay you money.
Exactly.
Yeah. So behind MLM, talks about one other personality that Jeunesse sort of poached from a different MLM, and they paid him $15,000 a month in order to generate tens of thousands of leads. And I think Alex Jones, even after the cut down in his traffic, still is something like 700, 800,000 unique views on like a monthly basis to InfoWars. So it's possible he's getting a lot more than $15,000 a month, since he seems to have the ability to drive a little bit more traffic. But it also seems unlikely that he's getting a whole lot more than that. And I know that in that there's a 2-hour interview Jones did, drunk with another
David,
yeah.
Robert, or Patrick
Bet David, the surprisingly good interviewer / multi-level marketing con man.
We were listening to that video just going like, what the shit? How is this the best interview that Alex, the best interview for Alex was this guy actually pushing back, just like, Alex.
Yeah. Really?
Have you considered that maybe some of this is your fault?
Really held his feet to the fire on some things.
I know.
Yeah. Shocking.
Pretty impressive. Yeah.
And in that interview, Jones claimed that he'd lost about $10 million in ad deals in the first month of Trump's presidency.
I will say that number is slightly higher than what he cited at the time, but he has a habit of, like I said, he's bad with numbers, but he also mythologizes himself quite a bit. So by this point, him expanding it to $10 million makes a whole lot of sense. But I think it was only like a couple million back then. I think he's at least multiplied it by a few.
I feel like that's every time he cites a number. When he cites that same thing in the future, he'll double or so the number, like at least 40% increase. And, that's cumulative over time. So I'm sure he'll be 30 or 40 million down, in a year from now.
Well, you might actually be 40 million down.
Well, yeah.
From now.
So that is what I want to get into because, the New York Times noted, and this was like a September 13th or 14th report, that InfoWars had a daily average of about 1.4 million visits to its website before the August 6th bans, and that by mid-September, they were down by about half. So it seems like the bans cut their traffic in half, which is obviously going to cut his revenue in half. And while I doubt he lost $10 million in a month, it seems pretty probable that he did lose a lot of money as a result of his increased visibility and the deplatforming and whatnot.
Sure.
So
I always find it interesting when he lies about something that he absolutely doesn't need to lie about. Like, $2 million, if you lost $2 million in a month, that's still a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
But he has to say, it's $10 million. Like, why?
There's no need. It's like fish stories, man. Fish.
It's still a big ass fish.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, it's like I mean, he also has to kind of lie about his influence, even though there's plenty of things he has to legitimately claim like that he's influenced. I don't know. He does seem to have like some sort of allergic prohibition against telling the truth. It's kind of weird. But yeah,
nobody would ever elect a guy like that president. I'll tell you that.
No. He would never get further than having a weird show on the radio. So. Anyway, it definitely seems likely that this partnership with Jeunesse came out of a severe cash crunch for Jones. Like, that's the picture I'm getting as I look at this, because we know his ad revenue's down. We know it seemed like if he's willing to give up InfoWars Life, it means those sales have probably fallen significantly.
Well, I think that your thinking is probably pretty correct on that. But my theory is that InfoWars Life was all done through his weird doctor friend, who's actually a chiropractor, Dr. Group.
Yeah, Dr. Group.
It's all done through the Global Healing Center that Dr. Group runs. He has all his products, and then Alex makes a different name for them and sells them on InfoWars Life. And my theory is basically once Alex got kicked off of everything, Dr. Group realized there's nothing in this for me anymore. So he wanted to stop his dual branding with Alex. So Alex probably didn't have as much of a choice as it appears with InfoWars Life going away, because now he can't private label all this like super male vitality, Anthroplex, all of his.
Interesting.
I noticed a decrease in appearances by Dr. Group, especially in the last 9 months or so. Whereas he used to come on and do infomercials fairly regularly.
So, I mean, that seems really consistent, though, with Alex Jones's character, because if Dr. Group has pulled away from Jones and isn't, willing to work with him in the same extent that he used to be, it would make sense that Jones is calling those supplements not as good as the ones like that he would be willing to throw not just Group but the products under the bus, because that's very much in Jones's character.
It fits the pettiness that we've seen for a long time. And Alex's jumping from thing to thing is pretty consistent throughout his career.
Yeah.
Like he used to be basically a gold salesman for Midas Resources. Ted Anderson runs this gold company called Midas Resources that also owned Genesis Communications Network that would distribute Alex's show. In September of 2015, Ted lost his gold license. So
for totally non-criminal reasons, I don't know why that would be the first place your head jumps to. A guy just lost his gold bullion sales license. That's just normal shit that happens. He forgot to re-up with the government. Come on.
Jordan is not correct on that. There were some shady dealings being done by Midas Resources. So he wasn't allowed to sell gold anymore. He ended up becoming, actually he sells like bulk beef now. And it's Midas Resources is a very strange place to look into now.
I've always called beef red gold. I mean, that's just...
It's the gold of your stomach.
Yeah. So when Ted lost his gold bullion license, Alex immediately, almost like 2 weeks after that, I believe, did a money bomb. And it was just sort of out of nowhere. Also right around the end of the fiscal year when you got to get your taxes together.
Sure.
So there's that confluence. And a little bit after that is when a lot of the supplement sales went into overdrive. Though he'd already started that end of the business a year prior, it wasn't pushed nearly as hard as it was after 2015 and onwards. So I've noticed a weird trend of him like sort of leapfrogging from cash cows, kind of.
Yeah. And I gotta say, just to it's a little aside, but it's really one of the things that's most frustrating to me about 2018 is like I spent, like I'm gonna guess you did as well, a lot of my late teen years and early 20s in like the weird conspiracy corners of the internet. And I have fond memories of those days.
Sure.
And
me too.
Yeah, I have really fond memories of using like weird libertarian gold e-currency to buy drugs off the internet from Canada. And now that's all ruined because it's all turned into this like right-wing, like this like funding machine for militias, basically. Like it's just such a bummer. Like I want to think back fondly about using e-gold to buy 2CI, but it's just it's been corrupted now by the
nothing gold can last, as they say.
Nothing e-gold can stay.
My disappointment comes from losing my favorite advertiser that he ever had, which was Diamond Gusset Jeans. Do you know Diamond Gusset Jeans?
I have heard Diamond Gusset Jeans on y'all's show. The ads for them.
Incredible. Incredible songs. But my favorite part was when he was doing research into Diamond Gusset Jeans, he found all these reviews and they were consistent in one thing, which is that whatever pant size you ordered, that would be the only pant size you did not receive.
It was pretty random.
It was a random pants generator. And that makes me so happy for some
Jordan,
an animalistic reason. I need to never know what pant size I'm going to wear.
But you don't need to worry about it because they're still a sponsor of the Genesis Communications Network.
Oh, well, then see, there we go.
That relationship is still intact.
In business?
Oh, yeah, they're still around. Everybody loves American jeans.
Diamond Gusset subscriptions all around. I'm buying around for everybody who listens to this show.
All right.
I want to know where you have to be in your life that you buy pants through the radio.
A patriot. That's where you have to be.
Okay. So, but driving us back to Jeunesse just a little bit, it does seem that there's some current desperation for steady monthly income in Alex Jones. I don't know, like you pointed out, he's leapfrogged from a lot of cash cows over the years, but it seems like now one of the things that's new is that he's willing to burn his audience to get it, because Jeunesse is not a nice company. Not that there are nice MLMs, but just this August, they settled a $2.5 million class action lawsuit, and the plaintiffs in that lawsuit alleged that Jeunesse was, quote, a misleading business opportunity disguised as a legitimate way to make money, which seems like a reckless thing for Jones to do with his audience, which has already dwindled as a result of everything that's happened.
The problem with that description of Jeunesse to me in a lawsuit is like, that's also a one way to describe capitalism, right?
Well, yeah.
Misleading way to... I mean,
it's one of those things, like, at the basic level, like, okay, you work a job and use the money you get at that job that you're paid for your labor to buy goods and services. There are complaints you can have about that level of capitalism, which is different than like an MLM, where it's like, no, you buy a bunch of products and the whole goal is to trick you into thinking that this will make you rich, but you never make a dime.
There's scams, and then there's scams on scams.
Yeah.
The thing I would think about your characterization of him being willing to like sort of take a risk with his audience like this, I don't think that that's out of character for him at all. I mean, even on your episodes, when you were going over his supplements, you guys talked about how there was a bunch of lead in everything.
You're right.
And a lot of the stuff that he sold were pretty bunk, even without the idea that there's heavy metals in them. Just the actual thing isn't going to get the result that he is saying you probably will. So I think for years he's been perfectly willing to endanger people to make a bottom line.
But it does seem like that's a little bit more of a subtle, like, for one thing, lead poisoning is just going to make you a better InfoWars consumer. Like it's not going to hurt your ability to enjoy Alex Jones's content.
Oh, hell yeah.
But, like, the supplement industry is gigantic, and 99% of it is a scam. Like, obviously, there's some vitamin supplements that can be useful, but, like, it's mostly bullshit. And that's
my favorite are the paint chips. Have you ever eaten those?
I didn't know
they're
that was classified as a supplement.
It's like they're kettle cooked paint chips.
Oh yeah, got nice crunch.
No, they're delicious. You get a little bit of brown on them. Perfect.
I like the jalapeno paint chips. Those are my favorite.
Weird fact about paint chips: less lead than Alex Jones's supplements.
Deep Earth iodine is made of lead.
Okay, so I gotta tune us out for an ad break right now, for some products and services, the capitalism stuff that we're talking about, but not the MLM version of capitalism. This is
yep.
we approve.
Now that is an ad pivot, my friend. That is the way you do it.
And we're pivoted.
Support for the show comes from Public, the investing platform for those who take it seriously. On Public, you can build a multi-asset portfolio of stocks, bonds, options, crypto, and now generated assets, which allow you to turn any idea into an investable index with AI. It all starts with your prompt. From renewable energy companies with high free cash flow to semiconductor suppliers growing revenue over 20% year over year, you can literally type any prompt and put the AI to work. It screens thousands of stocks, builds a one-of-a-kind index, and lets you backtest it against the S&P 500. Then you can invest in a few clicks. Generated assets are like ETFs with infinite possibilities, completely customizable and based on your thesis, not someone else's. Go to public.com/podcast and earn an uncapped 1% bonus when you transfer your portfolio. That's public.com/podcast. Paid for by Public Investing. Brokerage services by Open to the Public Investing Inc. Member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services by Public Advisors LLC, SEC registered advisor. Generated assets is an interactive analysis tool. Output is for informational purposes only and is not an investment recommendation or advice. Complete disclosures available at public.com/disclosures.
Kids, pets, life, your sofa sees it all. But with a washable sofa, stains don't stand a chance. All of our sofa collections come with fully machine washable covers and cushions, making cleanup effortless. Liquid and stain-resistant fabrics provide extra protection against everyday messes. Plus, with modular designs, you can rearrange your sofa however you like. Perfect for growing families and changing spaces. Starting at just $699, it's time to upgrade to a stress-free, mess-proof sofa. Visit washablesofas.com today and save. Offers are subject to change, and certain restrictions may apply.
Flag football is exploding, and iFlag is leading the way. As the Guinness World Record holder, iFlag hosts premier flag football tournaments nationwide for boys, girls, high school girls, and adults. From first-time players to elite competitors, iFlag delivers top-level competition, unforgettable experiences, and a community built around the game. Ready to be part of it? Join the movement. Find your tournament and learn more at iflag.org. That's iflag.org.
Hey, this is U.S. Olympic gold medalist Tara Davis-Woodhull.
And I'm U.S. Paralympic gold medalist Hunter Woodhull.
As athletes, our lives are about having a clear path.
And a team that you can absolutely trust.
So when it came to getting the best mortgage,
we chose PennyMac.
PennyMac is proud to be the official mortgage provider of Team USA and you.
Learn more at pennymac.com. PennyMac Loan Services, LLC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 35953. Licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. Conditions and restrictions may apply.
And we're back. We're back, and we're talking about Alex Jones. And I want to get into how Alex has chosen to brand InfoWars, yes, because it's really interesting to me.
Are you talking about the weird red lettering?
No.
That is it seems very off style for him.
It all seems off style to him. Like InfoWars Life products use terms like shield, force, defense, and it was all very militarized. It looked almost like most of the products on InfoWars Life looked like something you might pick up in like a first-person shooter video game as a power-up. Like
for sure.
Yeah.
InfoWars,
yes, looks like it's aimed at like middle-aged housewives. Not that that's a bad thing, but like the picture of Alex Jones in the InfoWars Yes banner ad that I sent you guys, he's clean-shaven. It looks like it was taken about 15 years ago, and the color tone is like a really light, calming blue. And it's not at all.
Safe.
Yeah, he's safe and healthy and young.
Well, he went with InfoWars Yes because InfoWars Tupperware was actually already taken.
Well, did you guys know that InfoWars Yes is an acronym?
Yeah, it's like youth enhancement system or something like
nailed
that.
it.
I
You
didn't
nailed
know
it.
this.
Yeah.
How do you know this? Why didn't you tell me this?
I know a lot of things.
About
And you
Alex
only
Jones?
know a little bit. So the youth enhancement system is the centerpiece of what Jeunesse claims to offer Alex's fans. And so there's a bunch of different products that you're supposed to take for all of the different ways that you can get younger if you take the drugs that Alex Jones wants to sell you from this company. And the most striking product that I found is the Finity pills, which...
You'll die sometime. Infinity.
It seems, like the pictures on the pills are like young couples. They're doing everything they can in the branding to make it look like this will make you live longer without actually lying and say that this will extend your life, because then the FDA will get on their asses.
Sure. There's laws about certain claims.
Yeah. But you can call a thing Finity.
To Finity and nowhere else is his rallying cry, I believe.
I'm going to guess by the spelling that the only reason they didn't go with Infinity is that would have been like infringing on the cars.
That's a good point. That's a copyright.
Yeah.
He also has a brand of cars named Paula. Just he stops there.
The Paulas, and don't forget his undies. So I looked into the ingredients of the Finity pills, because this seems to be the centerpiece of the strange life youth enhancement systems Alex Jones is trying to sell. It includes astragalus root extract, which is supposed to be good for your immune system and particularly famous for your heart. It's like a Chinese medicinal herb, but there are, quote, no high-quality studies in people, so there's no evidence of any health benefits. It costs about $2.75 an ounce. There's coenzyme Q10, which costs about $20 for 60 pills. There's fucoidan extract, which is seaweed extract, a little less than $20 for 60 pills. There's Pteropure, which is an antioxidant found in blueberries, which is slightly cheaper than those other two pills. And then, like turmeric and a number of other very, very inexpensive herbs. You guys want to guess the total price for 60 capsules of Affinity?
How much does a house cost?
We are all millennials. None of us know that.
Yeah. I'm going to put it just south of that.
It is $144.95 for 60 capsules. Now, you're supposed to take 2 a day, so that is basically more than an average cell phone bill in order to get one set of the medications that they recommend you take with the Yes program. So that's fun.
But your phone doesn't make you young.
Well, no, it doesn't. No, it just gives you head cancer. So
yes, that's right.
Throw your phone away by Finity.
Now you're getting it.
Now,
Your phone doesn't make you young is my favorite song from the 70s. Do you remember that one when it swept the charts?
I should note for fairness that if you're a distributor, it's only $108 a bottle.
Oh,
so
it's a steal.
It's a steal. So that seems to be the angle Jones is going for here. And I do have a little bit of a conspiracy when it comes to the marketing of InfoWars Yes, because as I noted before, in all of the pictures of Alex on the InfoWars Yes site, he looks like about 10 to 15 years younger than he is. He's also clean-shaven and really trim. So either the picture has been heavily airbrushed or they just picked a younger picture of Alex Jones.
Or both.
Or both, yeah. And I think this is done in order to create the illusion that Jones's wrinkled and careworn face has been de-aged by Jeunesse's remarkable products. And if that is the angle that they were going for, I have to imagine that Jeunesse was not happy to see Alex Jones give a 2-hour interview to an MLM salesman named Patrick Bet David. Because In that video, I included just a random screen grab from it that we'll also have up on the site. Alex Jones looks like he has aged about 20 years in the last 6 months. Like,
oh yeah. I don't like to critique people's appearance, but I believe on our show I said he looked like trash. Like he was slouched over and clearly drunk. It was a mess.
He looks like a middle-aged man who has been drinking way too much.
Well,
And he looks like that cartoon version of a hobo on the side of the street who sees a pink elephant walk by and then looks at his brown paper bag and like throws it in the garbage. Like it's his giant red nose is incredible.
Yeah, except he'll never throw away that bottle.
And I will say one of the things that makes me
The best way to describe him is if that cartoon hobo saw all these pink elephants and was like, hell yeah, and just kept drinking out of that brown bag.
I love me an elephant.
Yeah, pink elephants.
One of the things that concerns me a little bit is that, if you remember that wonderful forest bathing video Alex Jones did. Right.
Shirtless out in the woods.
He looks, for a guy in his 40s, relatively fit in that video. He's certainly not massively overweight or anything like that. He doesn't look unhealthy. He looks like he has aged way more than 2 years in the time since that video was taken.
You know how there are some people in the world who, like, you get them at the right angle and they kind of look great. Mm-hmm. You look at them a different angle, it's kind of like, oh boy.
Yeah.
I think Alex is very much like that. Like, he has the kind of stocky body that if he sort of pulls it in a little bit, he doesn't look like, if he has good posture and is trying to present himself, he looks bad but not terrible. But then if he's drunk talking to Patrick Bet-David, he looks like a hobo, basically.
Yeah. And he does look like a hobo. One of the things I noticed in that interview is that he claimed repeatedly that they've never had more hardcore listeners than they do right now after the purges. And that interview was posted the day after the New York Times posted that article about how their traffic's fallen by more than half, which is just a fun little side note here. I do think probably the most interesting thing to me, because like obviously the thing that got the most coverage in that video was Alex saying he was ready to die repeatedly.
Yeah.
I'm ready to die.
I'm ready.
And
to
if
die.
my kids get, they're gonna kill my kids.
I think.
Anyways, I'm a positive guy. What? What were we talking about? Major league marketing. Is that what we're doing? I don't know.
I will note that there is one moment in that whole interview where Alex seems to react with genuine horror and empathy, and it's when Patrick Bet-David talks about the time that he lost his voice for 90 days.
Oh yeah.
And Alex's response is very genuine, and he seems horrified by the thought of not being able to talk. Which,
well, yes, but if you recall, he was drunk.
He was drunk,
and as Patrick is telling that story, Alex takes a big bite out of an apple and says, "Life is very fragile," with a mouthful of apple.
Life's very fragile.
Yeah, so
and we're gonna
less stoic than.
It's kind of for me when I look at somebody like you. I lost my voice for 90 days 4 years ago. Okay, and if you're running a business and you're selling, you're speaking all the time. I mean,
that's not good.
That's not good.
Is it like a polyp on your larynx?
They thought it was a cancer. I had to go. It was benign. They did a surgery. I lost my voice Thanksgiving. I couldn't talk for 90 days. Voice was gone.
Jesus.
I couldn't speak at all. And so for me,
that's a genuine
it was a way
reaction
for me to sit back and realize, the smallest little thing is a big part of your life. So I felt like if I can't speak,
life's very fragile,
right? If I can't speak, what do I do? So today, if 5 billion.
A lot of wisdom there, Alex.
Never not the best.
It's the perfect intersection of being rude and empathic at the same time. It's bizarre.
Oh my God, that's awful that something happened to somebody who's not me. Anyways, this apple is delicious.
So there is a point in that interview where Alex gives, what I think is a really insightful and accurate answer to a question. I don't think he means to. I think it's just part of his spiel, but I think it's one of those. It's like how he accidentally predicted 9/11 because he just has been predicting disaster every day for the last 12 years. There's a moment where Patrick Bet-David asks him why the globalists just haven't had him murdered yet if he's such a threat to their schemes. And Alex notes, because they thought I was a joke, like a poison I titrated, and it's the way God works. It isn't me. And I do think that's why none of the people politically who were harmed in a serious way by the influence that Jones has gathered took him seriously until after the 2016 election, because we all just thought he was silly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree with his assessment pretty fully, but at the same time, it's interesting that, like, until very recently, his answer to why isn't he dead yet was that he's too popular to kill.
Yeah.
So like, it's interesting that he's even shifted that to a more introspective, actual searching answer than just like, it would be too much of a problem.
Yeah.
Or it's like, no, I was insidious. I flew under the radar as a goofy clown.
It's also really interesting to me how his go-to description of himself is as a poison. That's just kind of fun.
Especially for someone selling lead.
Lead-based pills. So now I just listened to y'all's latest episode of Knowledge Fight, where you covered a 2018 episode, and you revealed that there's so many new schemes coming out of Alex Jones that it's hard to keep track of them all. So I'm glad I listened to this one before this episode, because he is now getting into the meme-making business, which is...
The meme machine.
It seems like he's trying to brand himself as the news site of 4chan's poll board, because like one of the things that I saw the last time I visited InfoWars, if you're paying attention to the dark, gross, right-wing corners of the internet, there's a meme, the NPC meme has gone viral recently, which is basically everyone who isn't a really far right-wing shit poster is an inhuman thing incapable of independent thought, and so we describe them as a non-player character. There were like 5 or 6 different articles on InfoWars that all included the term NPC when I visited last.
That's because this meme is going to change the world.
Yeah,
it's big stuff.
But
did you get one? Did anyone do that to you?
What?
Did anyone NPC you?
Oh, no,
have you
not
been
yet.
NPC?
I have not
wow,
yet.
okay.
No.
I know that Jared Holt got the NPC treatment.
Great.
Yeah, I remember him posting something about that, and I thought, like, well, all right, he seems to be taking that in stride.
No, I've gotten a number of I was doing reporting on 4chan's poll board back in 2016, and I got a number of death threats back then.
Sure.
But I haven't gotten. I don't know. Maybe I have gotten an NPC meme. Nobody shared it with me on Twitter, and I rarely go to poll directly.
Smart.
Yeah,
Smart.
yeah. But it is interesting. Like he's announced that he's starting a whole new section of the site that's going to be focused around memes, and he just announced
memes.
Just memes.
Just memes.
Because
what
that's
else do you need?
it's what defeats the globalists.
Totally. They want you to use emojis.
They want you to use emojis,
Wait, no,
Dan, and that is what the globalists have always wanted. That shit emoji. That's nowhere near as good as the shit meme.
So
Totally.
Explain the emoji thing, because I didn't even catch that on there.
No
So is that what he's
idea!
saying?
Well,
No fucking clue.
Robert, what you need to understand is that the Fabian socialists, they are still actively involved in manipulating the world.
Fabian socialists.
And they want all of us to use emojis because they restrict language, because that smiley face can only mean a smiley face. It just means you're smiling. Whereas memes can mean anything. They have there's creativity within me. I don't know. That's basically what he's trying to say. But I don't know if I believe it. I know I don't believe it, but
yeah,
that's his angle he's trying to make. I think it's very thin. And also, I should say this: there's no way that part of the website is ever going to get made. He just that was Alex talking shit. That's not going to happen.
Do you think there's going to be a $10,000? Because he announced a $10,000 prize that he was personally going to give to the best meme.
He has announced so many multi-$1,000 prizes. No one, I think, has ever collected on any one of those.
There was that whenever Kathy Griffin made that distasteful picture with Trump's head. Alex had
distasteful in heavy scare quotes.
Yeah, Alex had Mike Cernovich on, and they were going to start a contest where they were trying to get homeless people to walk around with CNN is ISIS shirts.
Oh my God.
And somehow they would reward people for getting homeless people to be walking billboards.
I forgot that the plan was to get homeless people to do it.
Yeah.
What kind of nonsense plan is that?
It was pretty gross. It was pretty gross to hear. But
we're gonna kill 2 birds with one stone. We're gonna clothe the homeless, and we're gonna take Hillary down. That makes perfect sense.
That literally was their angle. Yeah. And so they do this all the time. They come up with these weird ruses and media stunts, and almost never are they followed through with, except for the Bill Clinton is a rapist one. That's the only one that really people followed through with, and apparently Alex did pay people for that.
So I do want to ask you, Jordan in particular, like one of the things y'all have been doing on your show that I think is really interesting is trying to trace back the origins of like nowadays pretty much constantly Alex Jones mentions George Soros. He's like the big boogeyman on InfoWars, and that has not always been the case. And I think you'll documented that somewhere around 2009, 2010 is when he first started talking about Soros, but even then he was mentioning that the guy was really low on the totem pole.
The first time that we've heard, I mean, obviously he's been doing the show for whatever amount of years.
Yeah.
But the first time that we've heard of Soros, because Dan has been conducting an insanely thorough investigation of 2009, which the ostensible point is to figure out when he joins up with the Tea Party, and we're 3 months past when the Tea Party started, and we've all we've heard is nonsense.
Yeah.
So we finally hear from one of his callers, I believe, like, hey, you hear about that Soros cat? And Alex is like, yeah, Soros is bad. Moving on and never speaking of this again. That was it. And then later on in 2018, he's claiming that he's known about Soros since the 80s when PBS used to run a week-long documentary series about how Soros is the most evil human being that there's ever been.
Yeah, his story's changed considerably.
Yeah.
In 2009, the best I can tell, at least at the point that we've been looking into it, the only thing that he ever has mentioned Soros about is there was a clip that came out of George Soros talking at the Davos meeting. And he mentioned the ramifications of the dropping price of oil that we experienced back then. And he was talking about how one of the after effects you're going to see is that a lot of the countries that support rogue activity around the globe that are funded by oil interests, and he names a number of countries and notably points out Russia as being one of them. Those countries have limited resources to use because they're not making as much as they used to after the oil price has gone down. And Alex says George Soros is admitting that he crashed oil in order to punish these countries, which doesn't reflect the clip at all. But he doesn't really talk much about it at all. It's just sort of like a little piece he throws in and then doesn't mention him at all. And then we flashed forward to November 2010 when Glenn Beck did his disgraceful George Soros puppet master report on Fox News. And what we found was Alex's response was, this is laughable. You think George Soros is a big deal. He's middle management, basically. He's like, he doesn't matter. George Soros doesn't make decisions. He's a hanger-on with the globalists. And so to short version, I guess, is we don't really know at this point exactly when he starts turning him into the demonic head of his enemy team, but it definitely has not been consistent.
See, and that's really because in that old stuff, like one of the things I know he mentioned when he was talking about Soros is that he was part of the left wing of the buzzard or whatever that is the globalist conspiracy to destroy all freedom and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And that's the most interesting thing to me about Alex's evolution over time, is how he went from this guy who was like the left and the right are both equally full of shit and they're both equally bad and part of this giant conspiracy, and you know, the real important thing is, you know, freeing yourself from the New World Order. And he has completely gotten off that train now, it seems like. Like, he's not, I mean, I guess he probably still does use the New World Order phrasing, but he's become a completely partisan creature now, which is almost like kind of a heartbreaking journey for him. Because
it appears to be heartbreaking, but I think that the reality is that one thing that we didn't expect when we started looking back through time is that if you look at what's motivating him, even behind the right-left paradigm being an illusion and stuff like that, is that like the reason that they're both bad is that they both want to infringe on whiteness. There is a consistent white identity defensiveness that characterizes Alex throughout all of his career that I'm able to look into. And so my feeling on him formerly being like the right and the left both suck, and now him being super conservative, is more a reflection of how far the right has gone down towards what he's into, which is defending guns vociferously and being super into straight white male Christian identity. So I think that he was waiting for a team to emerge that he could be a part of, and there wasn't a team. There was just basically Ron Paul that was someone he could be like, that guy's good.
No, before we started doing this show, all I knew about Alex Jones was essentially like, hey, here's this crazy guy who spouts conspiracy theories on the radio. And as we keep going back through different eras of this time, the only thing that's consistent is white supremacy. So whenever he's going back and saying like, oh, I hate George W. Bush, it's not about the right's policies in any way. It's about George W. Bush outwardly saying like, maybe we should still make an inclusive world, even though he's not acting it.
Yeah.
But now that somebody is out and out saying, like, have you considered that being Nazi is great? He's like, yes, I have considered that, and I agree.
That actually makes him make a lot more sense. And I want to, I want to move into. I know you guys have some clips that you have curated, and I'm excited to talk about those. But before we treat our listeners to some more of the best of Alex Jones, it's time to treat them to the best of some ads.
Support for the show comes from Public, the investing platform for those who take it seriously. On Public, you can build a multi-asset portfolio of stocks, bonds, options, crypto, and now generated assets, which allow you to turn any idea into an investable index with AI. It all starts with your prompt. From renewable energy companies with high free cash flow to semiconductor suppliers growing revenue over 20% year over year, you can literally type any prompt and put the AI to work. It screens thousands of stocks, builds a one-of-a-kind index, and lets you backtest it against the S&P 500. Then you can invest in a few clicks. Generated assets are like ETFs with infinite possibilities, completely customizable and based on your thesis, not someone else's. Go to public.com/podcast and earn an uncapped 1% bonus when you transfer your portfolio. That's public.com/podcast. Paid for by Public Investing. Brokerage services by Open to the Public Investing Inc. Member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services by Public Advisors LLC, SEC registered advisor. Generated assets is an interactive analysis tool. Output is for informational purposes only and is not an investment recommendation or advice. Complete disclosures available at public.com/disclosures.
Life gets messy. Spills, stains, pet accidents, and kid chaos. But with Anabay, cleaning up is easy. Our sofas are fully machine washable, inside and out, so you never have to stress about messes again. Made with liquid and stain-resistant fabrics, that means fewer stains and more peace of mind. Designed for real life, our sofas feature changeable fabric covers, allowing you to refresh your style anytime. Need flexibility? Our modular design lets you rearrange your sofa effortlessly. Perfect for cozy apartments or spacious homes. Plus, they're earth-friendly and built to last. That's why over 200,000 happy customers have made the switch. Upgrade your space today. Sofas start at just $699. Visit washablesofas.com now and bring home a sofa made for life. That's washablesofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
Flag football is exploding, and iFlag is leading the way. As the Guinness World Record holder, iFlag hosts premier flag football tournaments nationwide for boys, girls, high school girls, and adults. From first-time players to elite competitors, iFlag delivers top-level competition, unforgettable experiences, and a community built around the game. Ready to be part of it? Join the movement. Find your tournament and learn more at iflag.org. That's iflag.org.
Hey, this is U.S. Olympic gold medalist Tara Davis-Woodhull.
And I'm U.S. Paralympic gold medalist Hunter Woodhull.
As athletes, our lives are about having a clear path.
And a team that you can absolutely trust.
So when it came to getting the best mortgage,
we chose PennyMac.
PennyMac is proud to be the official mortgage provider of Team USA and you.
Learn more at pennymac.com. PennyMac Loan Services, LLC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 35953. Licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. Conditions and restrictions may apply.
Okay, we're back. We're talking about Alex Jones, and Dan and Jordan have been doing this for years. You listen to hundreds of episodes of Alex Jones, and you've come across some pretty objectively insane things that a casual Jones researcher like myself could never have hoped to find. So I'm just going to hand things over to you. So why don't you set up some of these clips for us and explain what sort of bounty we have for our listeners today?
Certainly.
What is this, a crossover episode?
but before I get into this, I want to say I thought that your episodes were really insightful and very on point. But two things I wanted to point out were, one, when you mentioned the InfoWars human resource director, it's worth noting that that's Alex Jones's dad, is their human resource director. So that's one thing.
He's very hands-on.
Yeah. It's really it's a natural step from paying off the people that beat up your son to not complain that he's bled on their shirt to directing HR for his company.
Yeah.
CIA dentist to InfoWars HR. That makes perfect sense.
It also implies he might be a little bit biased about harassment complaints when it's my employee and my son who is being complained about. And then the second thing was, I believe in the first episode, it came up that Alex might be a DJ. and this is a big misunderstanding, his cousin Buckley is a DJ. And Alex...
The most important piece of information anyone needs to know about InfoWars. Buckley, surprisingly, not a terrible DJ. He's pretty not legit. Terrible. He's not terrible.
He has a SoundCloud. It's Buckley Hammond, Hamman, and it bangs. It's pretty good. He's pretty talented. But I'm sorry.
He's also noted multiple times on the sexual harassment complaints.
Oh yeah, he seems like a horrible person.
Oh yeah, no, he's a monster.
Decent DJ.
Decent
DJ.
Yeah.
Isn't that how it always goes, though?
So, I guess the best place to start out would be one of the first things I wanted to learn about was what the path from Alex being this weirdo conspiracy guy to being Trump's propagandist. I wanted to experience what that journey was like. So we went back and listened from the day that Trump announced his candidacy to the point where he says it's Trump or die. And we experienced that ride. But one of the things that I never expected was when he announces his candidacy, Alex doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care at all. He doesn't even say anything about it on the day he announces. But on July 3rd, 2015, he finally starts talking about Trump's candidacy, and he says this.
You go and you show at the university 4 or 5 palace-sized houses, 40 million, 13 million, you name it. And you say, is this Donald Trump's? Everybody thinks he's the richest guy. The guy's literally nothing. Kind of just a front man for some consortiums on the East Coast. I'll leave it at that. Oh, yeah, Trump's a piece of work, folks.
Huh.
And they go in there. It's just mind-blowing. I don't even know what to say anymore.
So his initial position on it is that Trump he's mobbed up. He starts talking
which is accurate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's
absolutely.
It seems like a rare instance where Alex has good information.
It's one of the few times where it's like, oh, yeah, no, you fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
And, of course, 4 months later, he's like, Trump is the best guy that's ever existed.
Yeah. So you see him for a while being kind of like dismissive of the entire candidacy as Trump's rhetoric gets more towards what he likes to see in terms of being kind of cruel to non-white Christian straight males. He's like, oh, this is interesting. And then as some of these influencers, Steve Pieczenik, Roger Stone, I believe Eric Prince also, though he never shows up on the show, there's definitely indications Alex has made that he was one of his sources.
And I do want to drill into that a little bit. The Eric Prince, Roger Stone, Alex, like how Alex Jones ties into the Guccifer stuff, because that's something I didn't get into at all because I didn't really know much about it until I listened to y'all talking about it. And can you break that down for me?
I can try. It's going to involve a little bit of conjecture because you kind of have to put together the pieces of stray things that people have said on Alex's show. Roger Stone and Steve Pieczenik, who's a former PSYOP expert for the State Department, who is now a guy who's running PSYOPs on Alex on his broadcast. The two of them have multiple times on the show referenced something that they call the group or the 45 group, and talked about how they got together and put plans in motion in order to get Trump into office. I don't know for sure, but it appears based on the rhetoric that Steve Pieczenik has said on the show that Eric Prince may or may not be a part of that group as well, or in some way working with them. Because one of Alex's big things was this idea of there was a soft coup going on within the government against Hillary Clinton. And his belief about it is basically that there are forces within the military that were working with Russia and Assad in order to crush ISIS, and they did this behind the back of Obama. And when you really sort through the muck and you see like what comes through the sifter, it appears that probably Eric Prince, as a guy who runs a mercenary organization, may have made a deal with Russia in some way. And this is what's being translated to Alex as our military made a deal in order to fight ISIS.
That's so fucking crazy.
I believe a lot of this information that clearly relates to Eric Prince is being filtered through Steve Pieczenik and being translated onto Alex's broadcast as the idea that there are patriots within these communities that are fighting back against the globalist Hillary Clinton forces. And so that makes him think that he has like real legitimate backing within the government, when it appears that well, unfortunately now is the case.
Yeah.
Well,
So
the most fun thing about Roger Stone calling something the group of 45 is that you can place that within such a wide spectrum. It could literally be a Facebook group chat.
Could be.
Or it could be an Eyes Wide Shut orgy, and it could be anywhere in between. Roger Stone is that guy of like, it could be so boring, or it could be the weirdest sex party.
Because
I have no idea.
I can't believe that Alex Jones has not been to a party that was shot for shot indistinguishable from the one in Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, that's his Thursday. He's just that kind of guy.
Hung out with Charlie Sheen during his most wild times, and is now good friends with Roger Stone. Seems, I mean, I don't think that Alex doesn't like to party.
Two guys notorious for not having any sexually transmitted infections at all.
So with it seems like Jones was essentially used as like the dissemination point for some of this hacked information that like Roger Stone may have been a broker from. Like, that's kind of the rough picture you can put together.
It appears so.
Yeah.
And in Roger Stone's case specifically, we went back to the day that when all that information came out about Roger Stone's contacts with Guccifer 2.0, we went back to, I believe it was August 16th, 2016. That seems right.
Roger Stone calls it the day the music died, I believe.
Yeah, we went back to that day and we found Alex teasing secret information and it ends up being what WikiLeaks puts out. So there's an indication that he has got contact from Roger Stone, that Roger has made contact with this other source. And mysteriously, even before the YouTube channel was taken down, that episode is one of the only ones that wasn't available on his YouTube channel. That day had been taken down or hidden somehow. But generally, I used to be able to find all of his episodes just easily on YouTube, and that one I actually had to dig for.
That's really interesting.
It's suspicious. It doesn't prove anything, but it's suspicious.
No, and it's a more believable conspiracy than anything I've heard from Alex Jones in quite a while.
And I should say that it does sound conspiratorial to say, like, there's this group or what have you. And I wouldn't feel comfortable saying it if it weren't something that was brought up by multiple guests of Alex Jones's show that publicly pretend they don't know each other. So it seems incongruous that Steve Pieczenik and Roger Stone would both be on the show, and before that point be very clearly saying that they don't know each other and referencing the same group of people who are pushing behind the scenes for Trump to be president.
Best argument against that, though, is if it is an Eyes Wide Shut orgy,
Can't
everybody's wearing masks.
That's true.
Yeah. Everybody's wearing masks. You don't know.
Could just be a plague doctor.
Steve Pieczenik could have been inside Roger Stone, and neither of them know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You never know.
Sometimes you're running a political campaign. Sometimes you're fucking a PSYOPs director. It all happens.
I thought you were going to say running a train on a PSYOPs. So, you want to set up the next clip? Yeah.
Sure.
What's this one?
This one, the clip title is August 21st, 2018, Alex sort of confesses to murder. This is one of the weirdest clips that we've ever encountered on the show, and it is in the middle of an episode that has nothing to do with this sort of topic, but Alex confesses he might have been involved in a crime.
Google would love to have me arrested and killed. Guaranteed. See, I've never killed anybody. Technically, one guy had some health problems later, but technically I didn't. The point is, I've never killed anyone. But these people have helped China kill millions.
I will never know. Now, I've never killed a guy. Well,
maybe one.
Wait, what?
Do
we get any more detail out of that? Because I have no trouble believing Alex Jones killed a guy.
Of course.
Yeah.
No. A number of our listeners have speculated that what he's referring to is, like, he's talked about, like, as a younger man bashing someone's head into the concrete. And then, like you even mentioned, you put a guy into a coma. And there's a decent chance that maybe that person died later of medical complications, and Alex considers that to be like, I kind of killed that guy.
Wait, he put a guy into a coma? Did I mention?
Yeah,
that?
when I thought you did. Well, his dad paid off some people. One of them was a guy that Alex put into a coma.
Oh no, I was talking about there was a police report from like a fight he
about,
had. What's that?
You're talking about Space Hitler.
Yeah, Space Hitler, the fight with Space Hitler. Because it doesn't seem like anyone got really hurt with that. I had no idea he put a guy in a coma.
There's another story that Alex tells about. He presents it as he was being bullied and picked on, and then the bully didn't realize that he could go, and so he couldn't stop himself. When the rage got in him, he was bashing his head into the concrete and put him into a coma. And his dad ended up getting sued because that guy's dad sued him. But it appears that it would be when he was a juvenile, so it wouldn't appear in like open records or anything if they.
Because I found no evidence of that in any of the, and people have dug pretty deep into his background. But man, that would be a.
You know, it's fascinating that a lot of the times the best way to dig deep into Alex's background is to just let him talk. Like doing a lot of research can sometimes hurt you, other than corroborating the dumb shit that he said. Like because. And that's one of the most fascinating parts about studying Alex Jones is unlike Tucker Carlson or Sean Hannity, Alex says the quiet parts loud so much. He's the weakest link of the right-wing propaganda machine. So anytime you want to find out what the real goal behind propaganda is, just listen to Alex give an aside like, oh, and Hillary's trying to kill everybody. The reason that I'm saying this is because, and then he just fills in the blank for you. Like, it's fascinating.
He has very little filter, and he's frequently drunk on air. So
that's part of why he's worth covering to me. Because like one of the things when I did Alex Jones, a bunch of people on fans on Twitter asked about like when am I going to cover Ben Shapiro or Charlie Kirk or those guys, and the answer is never. Because the only people I want to focus on this show they're all terrible, but there's something impressive about all of them. They've all and Alex Jones is an impressive human being. He is a person who has accomplished things that have altered the world. Ben Shapiro is like a cheap Xerox copy of Alex Jones. Like he doesn't have the courage to be as crazy or racist or violent as Alex Jones, but he still sells supplements. Like he's just a ripoff. And there's no point in covering the ripoff. Let's talk about the real fucking thing.
I agree entirely. I mean, there was something I was thinking about, like in terms of our own show, because we like to try and not just talk about Alex Jones. We like to try and cover some other things. And people like Charlie Kirk or Ben Shapiro even, or a lot of these guys, they're just as dangerous in many ways. But their beliefs all still boil down to a lot of this idea of cultural Marxism, the globalists. All of their beliefs are tied up in the very same things that Alex has been covering for 20 years. So they are clearly inspired by Alex.
And they're just so much less fun.
Yeah,
Ben Shapiro sucks to listen to. He's the worst.
Yeah, he's even worse than listening to Paul Joseph Watson. And that is a bar so low it's a floor. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Insane. It sucks how do these guys do it? I don't understand.
I mean, yeah, it's you know what? Let's wash the taste of thinking about Paul Joseph Watson out of our heads with another beautiful Alex Jones clip. You want to set this one up?
Yeah, this one is
now that's a good transition, my friend.
We have one per episode.
This one is called Alex is Freaked Out by American Muslims, and I believe that this sort of represents. You were mentioning that he's kind of a racist, bigoty kind of guy, and I a little bit. And I think that this demonstrates his just sort of baseline position about people that are different than him.
Detroit school to hold Muslim girls only prom. Let me tell you something. It didn't hundreds of thousands Obama brought in. Everywhere I went in Austin yesterday, including a suburb, I went in 2 shops, a Starbucks, and then I went in a pool supply place. And there were like 7 people in the Starbucks. 3 of them were young Muslim girls with hoods over their heads drinking coffee after school. Then I went to the pool supply place, same deal. And all I'm telling you is, imagine if you were in Saudi Arabia, and in Saudi Arabia they were walking to stores and there were Christians and women with lipstick on and high heels everywhere. They'd start physically attacking you. But here we're tolerant. So I'm just saying we're letting in people en masse that are not tolerant, that are the most oppressive, cult-like people on earth, and it freaks me out. You bet I'm freaked out. You bet I am.
So what's freaking him out is
Muslim girls.
Yeah,
just teenage girls just at a pool supply. And the way he describes it, I forgot completely that he describes them as Muslim girls in hoods.
Mm-hmm.
Like not Muslim girls wearing a hijab or
burqa,
anything. Just like they're wearing hoods. Like they might even have been wearing a hoodie.
Yeah, they might
like,
have just been girls wearing hoodies.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's really, and this is like another one of those far right sort of Islamophobic things that frustrates me. Is like, yeah, Saudi Arabia is a garbage country with garbage laws. I've spent a lot of time in the Muslim world doing things that Muslims shouldn't do, like being very, very drunk. And usually the people serving me would be observant Muslims, and they're always just so happy to get you you want 4 screwdrivers? I'm just so happy to be able to like treat you as my guest right now. I just let me keep pouring this for you. Like I've never encountered any like, not that it doesn't happen in parts of the country, but like in parts of the Arab world, but like as a general rule, I've encountered in my life in the South more Christians who would judge me for not looking like them than Muslims who would judge me for doing something that is forbidden in their faith.
Totally. Yeah, that's exactly what I've heard from other folks who had similar experiences. I have not done too much traveling myself, but that's what I hear.
It's never a bad idea to point out that people are not their governments.
Yeah.
People are not their government's policies. People are, by and large, good.
Most
people are
don't
just usually
give a
good.
Shit what other people are doing. Yeah.
Yeah. I got my own shit to worry about. What about, oh, you're drinking? My daughter is dating a rocker. Like, fine, sure.
Yeah.
A Saudi Arabian punk rocker. You know the band.
Oh, yeah,
But in that clip, the thing that I think it really is what drives it home for me and is the reason why I generally choose this to be indicative of Alex's bigotry. While he said a lot of other, maybe much more offensively bigoted things, this one is he's complaining about the idea that Muslims are coming to America and that they're awful or scary to him in some way. And then he goes on to describe what could be Muslim women doing very American things.
Yeah, integrating.
Exactly. He's talking about people who are absorbing our way of life, going to a Starbucks, going to a pool supply shop, and that freaks him out. He's freaked out by the idea of assimilation, not the idea of non-assimilation.
And I think that's a general truth whenever these people talk about how, whenever they frame it as like, my issue is that these people coming to the country won't assimilate. No, your issue is that they will become part of the fabric of this country, and both they and the country will change as a result, because that's how the world works, and that's what fucking terrifies you.
And your straight white identity won't have as much purchase as it used to. You won't have the security of power that you once enjoyed.
And it's a classic example of him invalidating his own argument with the sentence that's supposed to validate his argument. Like when he says, you know, if you go to Saudi Arabia and you wear lipstick, they'll physically attack you. But here we're tolerant. And you're like, no, you just literally said that you didn't want Muslim girls in a pool supply store. Yeah. What are you talking about? We're tolerant.
Well, there's
here.
nothing.
You're not.
There's nothing more sacred to an American than a pool supply store.
That actually,
you know, really, there's something that just makes me tear up with patriotic vigor when I see a bottle of muriatic acid. That really, just shivers.
That and a sunken living room are the only two things that I think America stands for.
Yeah.
So I want to hear the rest of your clips, but this has gone on long enough that we're going to do an ad pivot, which I just announced, and you shouldn't, but buy these products.
Support for the show comes from Public, the investing platform for those who take it seriously. On Public, you can build a multi-asset portfolio of stocks, bonds, options, crypto, and now generated assets, which allow you to turn any idea into an investable index with AI. It all starts with your prompt. From renewable energy companies with high free cash flow to semiconductor suppliers growing revenue over 20% year over year, you can literally type any prompt and put the AI to work. It screens thousands of stocks, builds a one-of-a-kind index, and lets you backtest it against the S&P 500. 500. Then you can invest in a few clicks. Generated assets are like ETFs with infinite possibilities, completely customizable and based on your thesis, not someone else's. Go to public.com/podcast and earn an uncapped 1% bonus when you transfer your portfolio. That's public.com/podcast. Paid for by Public Investing. Brokerage services by Open to the Public Investing Inc. Member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services by Public Advisors LLC, SEC registered advisor. Generated assets is an interactive analysis tool. Output is for informational purposes only and is not an investment recommendation or advice. Complete disclosures available at public.com/disclosures.
Sink into affordable luxury. Anabay is the only machine washable sofa, inside and out. With stain-resistant slip covers and a cloud-like frame duvet, everything goes right in the wash. Plus, the modular design lets you change the look of your space anytime. Visit WashableSofas.com to upgrade your home. Shop up to 60% off site-wide, with sofas starting at just $699 and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Shop now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change, and certain restrictions may apply.
Flag football is exploding, and iFlag is leading the way. As the Guinness World Record holder, iFlag hosts premier flag football tournaments nationwide for boys, girls, high school girls, and adults. From first-time players to elite competitors, iFlag delivers top-level competition, unforgettable experiences, and a community built around the game. Ready to be part of it? Join the movement. Find your tournament and learn more at iflag.org. That's iflag.org.
Hey, this is U.S. Olympic gold medalist Tara Davis Woodhull.
And I'm U.S. Paralympic gold medalist Hunter Woodhull.
As athletes, our lives are about having a clear path.
And a team that you can absolutely trust.
So when it came to getting the best mortgage,
we chose PennyMac.
PennyMac is proud to be the official mortgage provider of Team USA and you.
Learn more at pennymac.com. PennyMac Loan Services, LLC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 35953. Licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. Conditions and restrictions may apply.
And we're back.
This clip here is Alex likes to talk about how everyone accuses him of being a Russian agent. He complains about that all the time. He says it's very unfair. It's a terrible criticism of him. One of the things that we found when we were looking over the 2015 turning into being Trump's mouthpiece, we found that he was super into Putin before he was into Trump. Even as he's saying Trump is a mob boss, basically, he's articulating things along the lines of Putin is like he represents hope for the world and that sort of thing. It's very Russian positive.
So would you say that Vladimir Putin was like his gateway autocrat?
I think he might have been, yeah.
Fascinating.
I'm not sure of any others that I can think of that he sort of full-throatedly approved of before then. But he's very much into Russia and Russia's line of propaganda in the world, even before he gets in with Trump. And so in October 2015, we found this clip that is really upsetting if you consider, now him saying, I have nothing to do with Russia. This clip is October 2015. Alex is debriefed.
I mean, we have the big listeners, and yes, the Russian government listens to the show. Then I was told that by RT International, one of their main heads, I'll leave it at that, in a Skype interview, where I was told it was a Skype interview, and it wasn't a Skype interview. Once they cut to me, they started interrogating me in a big table with a bunch of top Russians at it asking me questions. And then they had been threatened to never have me back on RT by the U.S. government. They were basically asking me who I was, who I worked for, how I could do certain things. And they were asking me if I was a U.S. government agent or who I worked for. And I said, I work for Liberty. But that's the level I'm at where, like a James Bond movie, it's not RT, it's a big table in a government building with a bunch of guys staring at me. And I see them on TV sometimes, and it's like Russian, leaders. Putin listens to the show, is the point.
That's the point.
I am sure that Vladimir Putin, in between... Yeah. I'm certain he's listening to 4-hour InfoWars episodes in his busy days.
It's a birthday thing. Like on his birthday, somebody murders a journalist, and he listens to Alex Jones. That's just a good day.
Just kind of how he winds
takes
down.
A bath. Yeah.
It's one of the skills that I think you can develop from listening to a ton of this stuff is sort of sussing out when Alex is lying and when he's not. And there's little characteristic flourishes when he lies of like, he really overdoes some of the details.
Details get so... There were 3 globalists in a hot tub. He's talking to 3 globalists. 2 of them were wearing lovely suits in the hot tub. The other one was actually wearing a full suit in the hot tub. And then an info warrior comes in and joins the hot tub group. And they're both sitting around the hot tub group. The info warrior says something and he goes, "Oh, I'm Alex Jones." And then the 3 globalists turn into demons and they fly away. Like that's how incredibly detailed his stories are whenever he's making shit up.
Yeah, he gets really granular when he lies.
Yeah.
And so when I hear a story like that, I hear the ring of truth to the sort of boringness of some of the details and the sort of concreteness of it. He goes in for an interview that he thinks is an interview. It's actually some Russian agents who want to talk to him about, like, hey, you're saying a lot of stuff that we're into. Oh, also, let's flatter you and say that Vladimir Putin is a huge fan of your work. And then he comes away from that being super in favor of Russia's angle in the world, to the point where anytime there's the world believes X, Russia believes Y, he believes Y. It's not necessarily proof that, like, he works for them or anything like that. That would be crazy. But it is proof that I think he's been compromised by flattery.
I mean, we do know that there's only one. There's 1 degree of separation between Alex Jones and Vladimir Putin, because Alex Jones is friends with Steven Seagal, who's been on his show. Steven Seagal is friends with Vladimir Putin.
Or you could even go with Alexander Dugin. He's been on Alex's show multiple times. Mm-hmm. And right after the election, Alex was on Alexander Dugin's show in Russia, where Alex almost cried while Dugin told him that he was the model of an American man, and he had single-handedly solved American-Russian relations.
Yeah, I believe Alex broke down in crying and then asked Alexander Dugin to be his head of HR.
Yeah.
Because his daddy issues are a little bit harsh.
My dad's got to take a vacation.
So, let's get to this mystery. Let's crack this caper.
Okay, so shall I play this clip and then you tell me what?
Yeah, this is a clip that you guys put on your show pretty regularly when you announce your new Patreon backers and stuff, and it's never not hypnotized me into wanting to know what the context is. So yeah, play the clip, and then our listeners will be curious too.
I mentioned this on Saturday from the pulpit, that someone sodomite sent me a bucket of poop. Did I tell y'all that?
And what's the name of that clip?
That is, sodomite sent me a bucket of poop.
Oh, okay, good.
It's very self-explanatory, that.
So that comes from a sermon or a broadcast that was made by a guy named Reverend James David Manning.
3 names, perfect.
Yeah, he used to be a regular guest on Alex's show, and would come on and talk about how Starbucks was putting semen in people's lattes. There was all kinds of fun conspiracies.
No, is that extra? Because there's a couple grams of protein in that, and I can tell you, on a day when I'm really let's.
It's $4.79. I'll tell you that. I don't know why, but it's $4.79.
Manning would come on and engage in largely some pretty homophobic, Islamophobic conspiracy theories, and so he's talking about how the gays are so out of control. One of them sent me a bucket of poop, and I just thought that was pretty fun. We did an episode about him being on Alex's show and how crazy it is that those worlds intersected. And in doing that episode, we learned that as soon as Trump got elected, Reverend Manning decided this isn't the way to go, and he decided that Trump was the devil. And he now calls him Tribulation Trump and refuses to go on Alex's show ever again.
It's not bad.
That's actually a really satisfying arc.
Yeah.
And kudos to that guy for not like Alex Jones has been inconsistent to a degree, because he's always been he's just the whole thing that he's supporting the greatest authority in the land now is very much counter to at least this guy's consistent. That's good. Yeah. I respect that.
Tip of the hat to the Reverend.
Tip of the hat to the Reverend. Any sodomites listening, if you want to send this guy a bucket of poop, it seems like...
You can find his address. You just Google Atla Ministries.
Oh, man. Well, I think that's going to be our episode for the day. I am very grateful to you for putting those clips together, and to both of y'all for sharing your encyclopedic and somewhat frightening knowledge of Alex Jones. I do want to kind of close by asking, Are y'all worried about him? Because I'm a little worried about him, about his like mental and physical health.
I'm worried for his kids. I'm not worried for him.
Yeah.
That's sort of where I land on it. Like, if he flames out and self-destructs, I'm not really concerned about that. But if he hurts other people on the way down, then that's kind of, I am worried about that. It looks like he could end up really screwing up some people's lives.
I feel like the same feeling that you get when you start reading a serial killer's backstory, where you read about the serial killer who killed like 8 people and you're like, oh, this guy's a monster. And then you find out, oh, he was horribly sexually abused as a child. Yeah. And all of this just mountainous ride of bullshit happened to him. And then you kind of start to empathize with this monster. So the more time we spend with Alex Jones, the more you find out that this is most likely a guy who has malignant narcissism with most likely a certain amount of schizophrenia built around it.
And unfortunately was introduced to like John Birch Society ideas at a young age and didn't really understand what he was reading. And that's shaped him as a political actor.
Exactly. So as somebody who has been like, I'm bipolar type 1, and there's always an instinct that I have to empathize with somebody who is struggling with something that
sucks,
quote unquote, normal people don't have to deal with. And at the same time, not everybody with a shitty childhood becomes a serial killer. So fuck that guy,
Yeah, I mean, because you got like the Chobani guy who sued Alex and then kindly chose not to take control of InfoWars, essentially. Like, that guy was a refugee. That guy grew up with probably a way more difficult childhood than Alex Jones, but rather than turning into a red anger goblin, became a philanthropist who helps refugees.
Yeah,
So,
I'm staunchly anti-billionaire to the point of like, we need to start sending Jeff Bezos buckets of poop.
Mm-hmm.
But Hamdi Ulukaya, he's not a bad guy.
if someone's going to have, like, I would prefer we live in a world where nobody accumulate quite that much wealth, but he seems to be one of the ones who's been the most responsible with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think when you focus on helping other people and inclusion and that sort of thing, it sort of helps your soul. Whereas when you're really obsessed with exclusion in the way that Alex Jones is, it erodes you no matter what. Like, no matter how much money you make, no matter how much fame and acclaim you get, it'll just erode you. And I think that's the difference between him and someone like Hamdi.
And I think that's a great note to close out on. So do you guys want to plug your pluggables before we roll on?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, our website is knowledgefight.com. We have some stuff up there. Probably more resources coming in the near future of things. We're on iTunes.
We are. I am I don't know, semi professional stand-up comedian.
Sure.
You could probably find me somewhere, I suppose, if you're going around. If you're interested in finding comics, you might stumble upon me. That's my plug.
Okay.
That's a good plug.
Thanks so much for having us. I really appreciate it.
Thank
It
you
was great
very
to talk
much.
to you.
Thank you guys for being on. Listeners, again, knowledgefight.com. If you want more Alex Jones, and I know you do because the 3 episodes we already did on him were wildly popular. So check out their podcast, listen to it. You can start from the beginning. You can listen to the more recent stuff. It's all just wild, and you guys make the soul-crushing experience of listening to Alex Jones enjoyable because you portion it out in the right amounts to where it just doesn't crush your spirit. So thank you for what you do. Listeners, check out knowledgefight.com. I'm Robert Evans. This is Behind the Bastards. You can find us on behindthebastards.com, where we'll have some images from the show. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at bastardspod. So yeah, check out Knowledge Fight. Continue checking out Behind the Bastards. And thanks a lot for being on today, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A BetterHelp ad. We get it. February is full of flowers, candy, and, of course, lots of talk about relationships. It can feel like everyone else has it all together in their love lives. But the truth is, we're all still figuring it out. Whether you're working on your marriage, navigating the dating apps, or prioritizing staying single, no matter where you are, you're right on time. Therapy can help you find your way and take some of the pressure off yourself so you can determine what you want, what feels heavy, and how you can feel lighter. Just a little bit of outside perspective from a professional can lead to new understanding and a lot of progress. So the next time you're feeling iffy about your love life, try therapy with BetterHelp and see where it takes you. And remember, you're right on time. Visit BetterHelp.com for 10% off. That's BetterHelp.com.
Time for a sofa upgrade? Introducing Anabay Sofas, where designer style meets budget-friendly prices. Anabay brings you the ultimate in furniture innovation with a modular design that allows you to rearrange your space effortlessly. Perfect for both small and large spaces, Anabay is the only machine-washable sofa inside and out. Say goodbye to stains and messes with liquid and stain-resistant fabrics that make cleaning easy. Liquids simply slide right off. Designed for custom comfort, our high-resilience foam lets you choose between a sink-in feel or a supportive memory foam blend. Plus, our pet-friendly, stain-resistant fabrics ensure your sofa stays beautiful for years. Don't compromise quality for price. Visit WashableSofas.com to upgrade your living space today. Sofas start at just $699 with no risk returns and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Get up to 60% off, plus free shipping and free returns. Shop now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
Flag football is exploding, and iFlag is leading the way. As the Guinness World Record holder, iFlag hosts premier flag football tournaments nationwide for boys, girls, high school girls, and adults. From first-time players to elite competitors, iFlag delivers top-level competition, unforgettable experiences, and a community built around the game. Ready to be part of it? Join the movement. Find your tournament and learn more at iflag.org. That's iflag.org.
You're listening to a podcast, so you're doing something else too, like maybe scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving places you like without thinking you'll get them, because that's what house hunting has become. But Redfin isn't built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, which means when you find a place you love, you've got a real shot at getting it. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.